In this video, I'll share how we build upper cabinets using extruded aluminum. I'll share the simple design that makes these super light, simple to install, and I'll show you exactly which hardware to use for different situations. I'll share the hinges that we use in the upper cabinets that we absolutely love, and at the end of this video, I'll share where we get our extruded aluminum bars and hardware and save about 30 to 50%. So the first thing I want to cover is just the materials themselves. And as I said, at the end of the video, I'll tell you where we get all of this and I'll put a link to it. So let's just kind of go over this. This is 10 series extruded aluminum. One of the questions I get a lot is, do you use 10 series or 15 series? We use 10 series for pretty much all of our cabinet construction. We do use 15 series for our bed platform, and also if we're doing a roof rack out of extruded aluminum, we would use 15 series. The difference between 10 and 15, 10 series is just 1 inch by 1 inch. 15 series is 1.5 by 1.5 inches. So I've got a couple of bars here. This is the 10 series and this is 15 series. So you can see there's quite a difference in the size. There's also a huge difference in the weight. This one is light as a feather and this one's pretty heavy, okay? So there's really no need to use the 15 series in your construction because the 10 series is plenty strong for any type of cabinetry and it just saves a lot of weight, a lot of cost. So you can purchase this extruded aluminum with slots on 4 sides, slots on 3 sides, 2 sides, or even 1 side. Most of what we use the tri-slot, which is 3 slots and 1 smooth side, because it's nice to have the smooth side facing out. So we use the bi-slot when we're going to see 2 surfaces. For example, on the bottom here, you're going to see the front of this, and you're also going to see the bottom. And all the way around, we're going to see the bottom. So we like to have those smooth surfaces facing anywhere that you're going to see them. So as far as the hardware that's used to connect all these pieces together, there's 4 main types that we use. There are others, but I'm going to show you the 4 that we use. The number 1 is just called an inside corner bracket. And this is like if I wanted to attach these pieces at a 90-degree angle, I'd put this bracket, I'd have a screw and a T-nut on each of these sides. Now pretty much all of these brackets and pieces will require a T-nut. So you can see I've got mounted here the screw and then the T-nut. The T-nut slides into the slot and then you just tighten it down. And so if I was using it here, I just tighten it on that side and then I could use it in here and I could tighten it down. It's going to hold that corner tight. The next type of corner bracket that we use is this. It's called a gusseted corner bracket. Now you can see it's a lot beefier than just the regular 2-hole inside corner bracket. It has 4 holes. So it's going to require 2 of the screws on each side, 2 of the T-nuts on each side, or a longer T-nut that has 2 holes. They make that as well. But we use these in strategic locations where we need more strength and to make sure things stay square. We don't really use them on our upper cabinets, but if I was going to use them, you could see I could put it here and it would just help this corner to be square and also prevent any twisting or bending. Now where we do use these is on our lowers. We will use them in strategic locations to keep the box square and make it a little bit stronger. So we may use it, in opposite corners to just square things up, and then we use the regular ones in the other 2 corners. We'll do that both in the front and on the sides to just stiffen the whole thing up. Now the next type of connector that we use when we're doing corners is this one, and this is called an anchor fastener. And these, what you would have to have is you'd have a hole bored in this piece so that this would drop in and it would sit all the way down in, and then the T-nut would be in this bar that comes into it, and then you tighten that into it. And we use these in a few places where we need a hidden bracket that you don't see. And the main reason for that would be where we're sliding a panel. Like this is the base of the cabinet, and we just slid this in to this slot in the 80-20. So right there you can kind of see the edge of that fastener. We've used that to connect these 2 bars together. We've used those here and also on the other side so that we can slide this panel in all the way without having to notch it out. You can see that if I was using a corner bracket here, I would have to notch out this piece to go around that corner bracket, and it just isn't as clean a look, and it also takes a lot of time to notch those out. So by using some type of a hidden bracket like an anchor fastener, you can just slide the panel in. So the next type of fastener that we use is just called a connecting or a joining plate. This is a 2-hole joining plate. They do make longer ones, but where we would use this is, like, for example, to join 2 bars together where we don't want to use an inside corner bracket. The reason we do that is on cabinetry, we don't want to see these corner brackets sitting in all of the corners. We want it to be a real clean finished look when you look at when you look from the front. And so we use these joining plates in here, and you can see here, to be able to connect these pieces without needing to notch things out or to keep them hidden and real clean. Now you can see one other thing that we've got here, and that is this little corner bracket with a plate on the back. So what we do is we've attached those, and I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to put this one back on. I'm using the nut, the washer. So we like to use lock nuts or nylock nuts. So these nuts have a little piece of nylon in the inside that just helps them bite and stay more secure. In our first couple of vans that we used these extruded aluminum upper cabinets, we just used regular nuts with lock washers, and we had them come loose a couple of times when our clients were really using the vehicles on rough roads and rough terrain. And so we went to using these nylock nuts, and we use those a lot on the vans, and they just stay a lot more secure. You can actually also add a little bit of Loctite to these to really keep them from loosening. And we do use Loctite on all of the screws that we use when we assemble any of our extruded aluminum parts. So what these guys do is these are the way that we mount these to the van. So let's go into the van. I'm going to show you how we do that. I wanted to jump in really quick and share something with you that Lisa and I are passionate about. We love cooking and creating in the kitchen, whether we're at home or cooking in a tiny van kitchen. And one of our favorite hacks is using Thrive freeze-dried foods. Why freeze-dried? Because it's lightweight, requires no refrigerator, and lasts for up to 25 years.
With fruits, veggies, meats, and dairy products, Thrive's got you covered. Whether you want healthy ingredients for quick and easy meals, shelf-stable meals for when you are on the road, or you want to be more prepared in case of emergencies, Thrive could be your answer. Check out the link below for more info.
Okay, so I'm in the van now. You can see right here, this is a Mercedes Sprinter. This is a 144, but it's the same in a 170. So what we do is these little plates that I showed you in the back that are hanging down, we're going to actually hang those right over this metal right here. Okay, so all I have to do is lift this up into place and just fit those little plates so they're hanging over that metal. Okay, and then I'm just going to push it up in the top. So then we just drill a hole right through the bar and up into the furring strip. Now there's a metal reinforcement going across the top of the van right here. You can maybe see it here. It's about 2 inches wide. We put a furring strip across that. And the furring strip we made about 4.5 or 5 inches wide. And what that does is it allows it to hang out over this metal rib on either side. So then we can put a bolt right up through it, all the way through that furring strip, and then we'll put a washer and a nut on the back side to secure it. So it's hanging off the back, and then we'll just tighten these down, which will pinch that little plate in to the metal and secure it, and then we'll bolt it through the top. So we're hanging on the back, and then we're bolted up into the furring strip that's running across the top. So this is another tool that's really nice if you are working with extruded aluminum. It is a 5/32 Allen wrench. On this end, it has a ball end. And what that allows you to do is put it into the screw at angles so that sometimes you can't get straight on, and the ball head will allow you to tighten it down at an angle. And then on this end is just a regular Allen head where you do need to be exactly straight in, but we'll tighten it in like that, and then at the end we'll just crank it down a little bit tighter with this end. So this is a really nice tool, and I will link to this in the description. It's less than $10. So I've shown you everything on this microwave box. This is just a small cabinet for the microwave, but we do it exactly the same way for the rest of the upper cabinetries. Okay, so speaking of the other upper cabinets, like I said, the front one will have a microwave, so we don't have any back in that. It's all open, allows it to breathe. But back here, so you can see it's all open on the top and the top and the back. Now, whether you're doing wood cabinets or extruded aluminum cabinets, you're going to have to deal with this. So what some people will do, they will continue their wall all the way up to the top and then their ceiling all the way across. And you can certainly do that with the extruded aluminum as well. The drawback to that is that you can't use that mounting system that I showed you where you're hanging it over that back metal. Also, you're enclosing everything, so if you ever need to get at wires, or for example, some people will put fuse blocks up behind the cabinetry, it's a lot more difficult to get at it. And the other thing is it adds a lot of extra weight and expense by continuing your ceiling all the way across, your walls all the way up. You're using that extra material, adding that extra weight. The way that we like to do it is to leave all of this open. And then we've come up with an idea that I really learned from George over at Humble Road. And if you aren't following George, then you really should. He's got an awesome channel. But this was something that he did, and this is taken from the airline industry. And we kind of took it and adapted it to the way that we do our cabinets. But this is just a piece of ABS type of plastic. And it's used very commonly in marine industry, the aircraft industry. So we just cut a piece, and these two holes at the top are just finger holes to help us in installing and also taking it out. And then we just line the whole thing with this. So what I do is I'm just going to put this in, slide it around, and then the top is just going to slide right into the groove in the 80-20. And then the back is just against the bottom floor of the cabinet and right against the back. And you can just see how simple that is, how simple it goes in, and how clean it looks. It gives you access if you need to take this out. Just look at how easy this is to take it out. I just pop it out on the bottom, and then I can just pop it right out. I can get any wires that I need. If I had a fuse block or something and needed to check a fuse, I could get up there. And then to put this back in, I just slide it in, bring it around, pop it into the groove, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Now we also do these dividers in between each of the bays. We just do that with another piece of the ABS. We cut these in a curve so that they fit the contour of the back of the van, and then they just give each of these compartments a nice clean look. Now let me talk for a minute about these hinges. So the hinges that we use, and we love these hinges, you can see that they're attached with screws right here. So what we do is we put another extruded aluminum bar here at a 90-degree angle down to the bottom, and we attach that. And that just gives us something to screw these hinges into. That's the only purpose of those. So once we've done that, we put those bars in, we put the plastic divider, and then we just screw our hinges into these. Now these hinges are something we get at IKEA. They're called, they're Utrusta. We pronounce them Utrusta, but I was corrected by somebody on YouTube that said that they're actually called Utrusta, so in Swedish. Whether you call it Utrusta or Utrusta, they're great hinges. Now these hinges are actually made by Blum. Blum is a manufacturer of all kinds of cabinet hardware. We use the Blum undermount drawer slides for all of our drawers. We use Blum hinges, just the regular type hinges on our doors for like our under our sink and any doors that we have like that. But for these upper cabinets, the Utrusta hinges are absolutely the best. So here's how these hinges work. You just attach them on either side of the cabinet. You can do these whether you're doing wood cabinets or extruded aluminum. So they extend out this way. They're super strong and durable. And the way that you mount your cabinetry to them is really simple. So you just install the hinges, and then it comes with these little brackets. And these brackets get mounted on your actual cabinet door face. So just as an example, let's just say this was my door. And this was the back side of my door. So on the inside, I would just screw these brackets, and it doesn't matter which way they go, they're universal. I would screw these to either side of my door face, okay, this distance apart. And then to connect them, all I would do is I would put this whole thing, and I'm just going to set this aside, but all I would do is I would just raise the door up into there, slide it back into the notch, push it down until it clicks, and my door would be on there. If I need to take the door off, all I do is push a button and pop it out, and it comes right out. So they're really awesome. The hinges are awesome, but also the way they go on is so clean and simple. And they comes with a little template on mounting these, so it literally takes you like 2 or 3 minutes per door to mount these, pop them in. And then the other thing we love about these is the adjustability. So there's a lot of adjustment that you can make with these hinges, and that's really nice because in a van, things aren't always straight or square. And so these allow you to get these doors exactly how you want them, because you want to have your doors hanging down, you know, whatever reveal you want there. You want the gaps in between the doors to be very precise, very straight. And these, the adjustability allows you to do that. So the first adjustment is for the up and down of these arms. So all I do is there's a screw right here, and as I tighten this, it will actually bring this arm down and limit how far up it goes. So if I want my doors to stop just before they touch the ceiling, it's very easy to just tighten that and adjust them to exactly where I want them. Then there's also 3 more adjustments up here in the front. One of those adjustments moves the entire door side to side so that I can get the gapping, the reveal that I want between the doors exactly where I want it. And then there's an adjustment up and down so that I can adjust it to have all of the bottoms line up exactly where I want them, so I have the same reveal all the way across. And then it also has an adjustment, the plane of them. So if they're not laying perfectly flush with the front of the cabinet, I can adjust the doors so that they either tilt in or out. So it's really nice to have all that adjustment within the doors, and there's quite a bit of travel in each direction so that you have a lot of room for adjustment. The final adjustment is the tension, which is another thing I love, and that's a screw right up here. And you can turn this screw and tighten the tension and make these super strong. So typically in our upper cabinets, we don't use any latches because we can tighten these up strong enough that they close and they're going to stay closed and they're not going to come open when you don't want. And then also with that tension, they're going to stay up. So regardless of how heavy your doors are, you can adjust it so that those doors stay up on their own. Now, I told you that I would share with you where we get all of our extruded aluminum bars and all of the hardware, where we save about 30 to 50% over what most people spend. So the most familiar company that makes this extruded aluminum is called 80/20. You've probably heard of them. A lot of people commonly call all of this extruded aluminum 80/20. When in fact that's just a manufacturer, and it's one of many manufacturers. It's sort of like everybody calling tissue paper Kleenex. 80/20 is pretty pricey. Their shipping is pretty expensive. So we have a different company, and I will link to them in the description, where we found that typically it's about 30 to 50% less than what you would pay for the 80/20. Now, I will say something on the shipping. If you order long pieces over about 94 inches, the company gets charged what's called a DIM charge, or dimensional charge, by UPS because of how long they are. But if you keep your bars under 92 inches, I think that's the length, don't quote me on that, you can check their website, but it's around 92 inches. If you keep the bars under that, then the shipping is going to be a lot less. Now, you might be curious what this type of cabinetry and the extruded aluminum construction looks like in a full van build. We just did a video on our 18th van that we built using a lot of the extruded aluminum construction on the uppers, the galley, the mechanical boxes, and you can see the panels that we use to cover those and make them look all beautiful. So if you'd like to check that video out, you can click or tap the screen. We've also got a ton of other videos on our channel about van construction, product reviews, van life. So if you'd like to check out some of those other videos, then please check out the channel. And please consider subscribing and smash that like button. And we'll see you in the next video. Jeff with Thrive Vans. Thrive on. See ya.